What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Roman Reigns welcomes another child, WWE creative in a total mess, the real reason WWE cancelled a Travis Scott match, Cody Rhodes is the new Guile, WWE's future in Saudi Arabia revealed, Chad Gable undergoes surgery, WWE talent harassed at the airport, CM Punk gets defended, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at awesome news as Roman Reigns welcomes another child. Now our top story today takes a look at some great news for Roman Reigns and his family, as the future WWE Hall of Famer has welcomed another child in the family. It was revealed yesterday via WrestleBinge that Reigns recently welcomed his sixth child into the world, meaning that Reigns' bloodline continues to grow. In fact, currently Roman Reigns has 6 kids, Jacob Fatu has 7 kids, Jay and Jimmy have 2 kids between them, Solo Sikoa has 3 kids, not to mention Tongaloa having 3 kids and Tama Tonga having 2 kids. Man, that pullout game from the bloodline is weak. But all jokes aside, we extend our heartiest congratulations to Reigns and his family. Next up, Cody Rhodes, the new Guile. Roman Reigns may not be the only WWE name to join the cast of the new live-action Street Fighter movie. According to a report from Nexus Point News, the American Nightmare is currently in talks to portray Guile, the iconic military fighter in the new movie. Both Reigns and Rhodes in the same movie would be incredibly interesting, and it's clear that Rhodes has aspirations in Hollywood based on the Street Fighter news as well as the appearance in the new upcoming Naked Gun reboot. Just imagine we could have Guile vs Akuma in the movie. Next up, WWE creative in a total mess. There's been extensive criticism thrown towards WWE for how they've handled the Evolution Premium Live event. The event has basically come out of nowhere, and with just 2 weeks to build a show, WWE have done a complete disservice to the event, the talent, and the fans who waited years to see the PLE return. According to a new report from Fightful Select, the entire show came together in under 2 weeks, and a number of legends were contacted for the show. WWE Evolution is coming together with the show in under 2 weeks. Fightful Select reported that WWE wanted Trish Stratus for the show in a program with Tiffany Stratton, which started to unfold on the Pittsburgh SmackDown tapings. However, there were a number of other legends that were contacted. Those we spoke to in WWE said that the inquiries had been ongoing over the last several weeks as to who would appear on the show, and some of the creative and the negotiating quote-unquote came down to the wire. Liv Morgan's injury caused some heavy shifts for creative for the event. Now, it was also reported via Fightful Select that the roster weren't informed of plans for the women's tag titles, so they were strictly kept in the dark. We're told that the creative wasn't expressed to the roster for the plans for the Raw women's tag team that will represent the brand at Evolution. Talent had not been told of the event before the public announcement, though many had heard the online rumors. This all but confirms rumors that WWE aren't taking the show seriously and don't really plan to put extensive effort into making the show a monumental success. This really strengthens the argument that WWE has too many shows in 1 month or even the year. Only giving big shows 2 weeks build is horrendous at this point. Next up, the real reason why WWE cancelled Travis Scott's match. Now, before Money in the Bank took place, there were rumors regarding Travis Scott having a match in WWE. The rumors were that Travis Scott was going to team with John Cena to take on Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. There were also rumors that Travis Scott was training for the match with Booker T. However, there was one key reason why this didn't happen, and it has all to do with the R-Truth drama. During a recent Q&A, WrestleVotes confirmed that before Money in the Bank, WWE had huge plans for Scott to appear at the event. This included a ton of merchandise being designed with his logo, the event branding, and the date. But then R-Truth's release changed everything. That's an interesting one. We put it out prior to Money in the Bank that he was planned to be at Money in the Bank. I can go as far as to tell you guys that there was a lot of Travis Scott merchandise designed with his logo and his imagery, with the Money in the Bank location and logo and date and all that stuff. He then went on to say, then the Ron Truth killing stuff happened, and then they changed creative. I don't know if that interacted with Travis Scott or not, but somewhere along those lines, the Travis Scott plans changed. A coachman then chimed in to drop the real reason, saying it was supposed to be Travis Scott, but Travis Scott we are hearing is flaking. It's very widely known, Vince, that Travis Scott was supposed to be training with Booker T and he was supposed to be in this tag match. That didn't happen. Coachman then believed that the crossover didn't work between WWE and Scott. I've heard Vince, and maybe it's changed now that Travis Scott is not showing up, but he's not. I have that on good authority that SummerSlam is supposed to be a 6-man tag after the tag at Money in the Bank, but if he's not showing up, then you're not going to have his followers, because his followers aren't going to watch it. I don't think that the crossover worked. I mean, judging by the reaction to the rumors, did anyone really want Travis Scott wrestling at the event anyway? He'd already ruined WrestleMania 41 with his appearance, so we think that many, including ourselves, were glad that it didn't happen. Next up, a WWE legend snubbed. Now, speaking of Evolution, a former Divas champion is urging WWE to bring her back for the event. Kelly took to X to state that she wishes she was part of the upcoming Battle Royal, which likely means she hasn't been contacted for the event. As things stand, the only legends advertised for the show are Trish Stratus and Nikki Bella, the latter of which was set to feud with Liv Morgan, but with Morgan being injured, Bella's creative plans are currently unknown. There are rumors that the Bellas may host the event, but that hasn't been confirmed by any credible sources. The idea behind the PLE is that it highlights the past, present, and the future of WWE's women's wrestling, yet the past element isn't really being explored in any way. One or two names isn't what fans had in mind, and it's concerning that wrestlers such as Kelly are having to campaign to be booked on the show, more or less even snubbed by WWE. This yet again proves that WWE haven't put any focus on the event. When it comes to ex-WWE wrestlers such as Kelly, they can't just be called up randomly a week before. If they're taking bumps, they will need to train for their appearance ahead of time, so there's no excuse from WWE's side, as they have known that the event was on the calendar for months. Next up, WWE's future in Saudi Arabia. Now, it's already been confirmed that the 2026 Royal Rumble will be in Saudi Arabia. However, it's now been confirmed that they will also host a total of 3 events across the calendar year in 2026. Fightful Select reports that the other 2 events will take place in May and November respectively. The November 2026 date will naturally cause inquisition regarding Survivor Series. For the last 4 years, WWE has scheduled Survivor Series on Thanksgiving weekend. We were told by one WWE source that the November Saudi show either won't be at Survivor Series, or if it was, it would be moved off that weekend because they couldn't envision sending talent on an overseas tour Thanksgiving weekend. Now, it's unlikely that WWE delivers Survivor Series in Saudi, especially with them receiving the Royal Rumble earlier in the year. They went through a period of hosting Crown Jewel in early November, so that likely could be the plan. There's been a lot of speculation as of late relating to WWE and the Saudi deal. With the deal set to expire in 2027, it's unknown if they will be renewing their working relationship. TKO and WWE will no doubt look to renew, as the money they receive from the Saudi-based events is astronomical. In fact, it was reported that they will be making $50 million just from hosting SmackDown and Night of Champions. When it comes to Saudi, they may look to negotiate, and they might include a future WrestleMania event as part of the new agreement. That's definitely going to go over well with fans, right? Next up, Karrion Kross shuts down Rumors. Last week, a report surfaced that stated that WWE were unwilling to push Karrion Kross due to his unwillingness to take back bumps. Whilst this report was obviously ridiculous, it did catch on fire on social media, and certain fans decided to make compilations of Kross failing to take back bumps. Now Kross himself has had the chance to address the reports and rumors, and according to Kross on the Foundation Radio, the report is hilarious, but it is indeed totally fabricated.
It's hilarious. This story has not stood out to me as much as other stories that were fabricated about me over the years. Like, there's been far more crazier things. I'm surprised this one, of all things, actually got any traction. I don't know, what's my favorite bump? Nothing comes to mind, but maybe some of the ones that people hyper-focused on and thought that something was wrong. I don't know, maybe one of those would have been maybe my favorite one.
Kross saw great humor in the situation and even joked that wrestlers backstage were pushing him to wrestle like Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam 2005 in his match versus Sami Zayn.
Some of us were joking in the back. They're like, dude, you should go out there and bump like Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan. And then some of the guys were like, maybe you should just take absolutely no bumps. Just don't take any at all. But
don't sell a thing. Not a single sell had to be done in that match. Nothing. Yeah.
Right. But honestly, at the end of the day, like, I can't do either of those because people are paying good money and spending very valuable time watching the show. I can't turn the show into a joke for like a strange subculture of people. I can't do that, right? So obviously, as a professional, I would have never done that. But we were howling about it.
The good news for fans of Kross is that his feud with Zayn is continuing over on the Red brand, so his presence will be felt a lot more on television in the coming weeks and months. Next up, Chad Gable undergoes surgery. Chad Gable recently underwent successful surgery on his shoulder. The talented star took to Instagram to share the news of his surgery with the caption, "I'll be back quicker than you can say gracias." Wrestlers past and present were quick to share their warm wishes to Gable via Instagram, and hopefully Gable makes a speedy recovery. In fact, in other news, other El Grande Americano news, Ludwig Kaiser took to Instagram and posted an interesting picture where he ordered a very certain coffee. Next up, WWE talent harassed at the airport. A WWE wrestlers being harassed at the airport for autographs by scalpers isn't anything new. But it was so bad this week that Bronson Reed was forced to take to X to state that he will no longer be signing autographs at the airport. Chelsea Green would also reply to Reed's post stating that she found it rather overwhelming. WWE has a duty to protect talent, and it's obviously getting serious when a name such as Reed is putting out a statement relating to his stance on things. Next up, Cody Rhodes talks a terrible WrestleMania match. Cody Rhodes was reserved in commenting on the less than stellar WrestleMania match versus John Cena, but that's now changed. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, the #1 contender for the WWE title would address the fact that fans weren't happy with the match, and he takes full credit for the match not working. SummerSlam. I don't want to go as far as making any promises, but I can tell you that the goal with SummerSlam is if people felt a certain way about WrestleMania, I'll put that all on my back and take all the credit and responsibility for perhaps not feeling satisfied. I'd like to get him to the finish line with SummerSlam. Very much looking forward to doing this dance again. Rhodes is clearly hoping that the SummerSlam rematch versus Cena is a step up, but that of course depends on how WWE books the match. The main hindrance to the quality of the WrestleMania match was the horrendous Travis Scott interference and the subsequent match finish. There are calls from fans to see WWE turn the match into a multi-man contest featuring either CM Punk or Randy Orton, but as things stand, the match is staying as a traditional singles matchup. And finally, CM Punk defended. Our final story takes a look at another ex-WWE star coming to the aid and defense of CM Punk. Punk has been criticized for working in Saudi Arabia, as some fans believe he's a hypocrite for previously calling out WWE star The Miz for working in the country. Former WWE champion Rob Van Dam has come to Punk's defense, and according to RVD on his podcast, Punk isn't a hypocrite. I don't consider it hypocrisy unless it's done at the same time, because people can grow, the perspective could change. If he said something 5 years ago and now he feels different about it, then that's not what a hypocrite is. We all grow and evolve. If he's signing the contract, if he's on his way, if he's gonna get big money in Saudi Arabia and at the same time he messages, I effing hate people that go to Saudi Arabia, they suck, and then he goes, that's different because it's the same guy at the same time showing two different faces, talking out of two different orifices at the same time. That's what a hypocrite is. It's likely that Punk will now be working all future Saudi dates, meaning he will most likely be in the prominent role at the 2026 Rumble, which will take place in the country. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.